Welcome to the Suspension Sessions from RBC, the podcast that dives into the science, service and setup behind MTB suspension. I'm Glen, and together Robbie and I explore the fundamentals every rider should understand, from sag and seals to tuning, service intervals and long-term performance. If you want your suspension dialed, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of the Suspension Sessions. Today we're sitting with Robbie and Valley again, and we're going to talk about what RBC really does, what Robbie and Valley love getting into, the nuts and bolts, the tai chi of suspension. Robbie, where have you been for the last week?
The balance, bring the force and the balance to the ride. Yeah. Thanks, Glenn. That was a really cool one. Tai Chi. It's all about balance, and actually that's exactly what the suspension tuning sessions that we've done in the past few days have been about. So we were very fortunate to work on a beautiful farm in the Barnhoek, and I'd like to say a big shout out firstly to Marais and Mariki Steyn for allowing us to use their property, very graciously provide us this with a beautiful place to, and I mean, when I say a beautiful place, you don't understand. It was absolutely stunning. So we felt very special to be able to set up there and do 2 days of suspension testing in complete privacy with trails in the backyard, because for us, bringing the professional riders in, we wanted to be able to not involve any members of the public and allow them to do what they need to do on their own terms, which was fantastic. So thank you very much to Marais and Mariki for allowing us to use their property.
Yeah, fortunately, I've gotten to go there as well. And
yes,
you're quite right. That is a really beautiful setup.
Yeah, no,
great view of the mountain to work under.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And after work, after 5, we went riding. And it was, I mean, the trails there in the Barnhoek trails are world class.
So were you there just to watch over Valley's shoulder, or did you guys actually do some work?
We actually did some work, eh? So it was very interesting. As I alluded to in the previous podcast, we had some international riders on the Monday, and the local South African pros on the Tuesday. And I've also, before we go into this, I've got to say a big shout out to Barry Austin, their coach, for understanding that it's important that the riders have a pre-season setup, and also that they can be kind of educated into what their suspension brings to the game, because their bikes and all this equipment on them is what helps them to achieve their results. And without making sure that all of the products are in tip-top condition, you're not going to have the results that you should be getting, regardless of your training. So I think it was worthwhile for those guys just to be there, just from that perspective alone, to see what was involved and how and what the servicing and requirements should be. But I think from a balancing perspective too, especially the pre-season stuff, allows the riders to get a base to set up for the rest of the year. And Valley was instrumental in setting up all the riders. I was there to do servicing and also to do some detailed shim stack setups, which was great. It was really a fantastic opportunity to actually get into the nitty-gritty of the pros' bikes. And Valley, I mean, what did you take away from the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, this balancing is for sure one big topic. The other side is also that the riders understand what kind of tools they have. Means suspension, they have the whole bike. They have the handlebar with a hell of clickers on it. Then they have tires, they have wheels. So this is all one like a machine which has to go to each other with the rider, because the rider plays a big role.
And so everything affects something else.
Yeah, exactly. That makes it a bit complicated. So you have to get the feeling about this Tai Chi approach, which maybe describes it very well. So if you have higher tire pressure, it affects the suspension, it affects the rider and the grip, whatever. So this all as a importance and should be properly set up plus also that the rider understands more or less all these parameters to dial in, which allows them to change something if they have another track, for example, or other condition, or maybe doesn't feel well on the bike, so they know or got an idea, okay, I have some parameters I can play and tune a bit.
So from listening to what you're saying, and without giving up too much information, there's a certain process that you follow before you actually even start working on the suspension. There's certain key factors that need to be sorted out before you can do the real work.
Yes, but sometimes it's a bit difficult because you're on the track and the field. It's always a bit messy, everything, so you just try to keep things organized. You learn the riders, you have to learn them a bit more in detail, what kind of strengths and weakness they have. Then of course you just follow a bit of protocol. You set up the suspension starting with the spring curve, then damping. Also you check, but this may be more Robbie's part, is the suspension still working properly? Is the fork moving good or not? And I mean, we had riders, the fork was kind of used a lot, so we had to make the service first. Otherwise, you have so much friction in it, doesn't make sense to do some kind of setup.
Yeah, that seems to happen often.
Yeah.
Always service first. Guys
Yes.
arrive with equipment that's subpar.
And you can't set it up. I mean, then straight away it's never going to be right. And yeah, so we had a couple of instances where, in fact, I'd say probably 50% of the guys needed their stuff sorted out first. And for us, it's also important that we start fresh to get the correct results. It has to be. And I think also with the experience that we've got, we were able to identify one or two brands that we needed to make changes to the shim stacks before we even got to the testing point, because we knew exactly where the weaknesses were. So that was also a great kickoff for us as well, that we could actually achieve that without too much of a fuss.
Okay. Sorry, Valerie, you were saying, so you start off with spring curves and then you move on from there.
Exactly, yeah. But it's also a bit sometimes a mental game, psychologic, because the rider get used to their products, and even they're getting worse and worse because of no oil, whatever. So they get used to the worse condition of the suspension. So we have to align them fresh for the new fresh product. So let them do some runs without doing anything, or just playing a bit the trick that you said you did something, whatever. It's always you have to get the feeling to the riders, and you have to build up some trust first, that they know, okay, there's someone who really can help you. But it's rarely just a protocol out of the box. It's always a bit different and depends on the rider you have.
So each situation calls for a slightly different approach.
Yeah, I think this is really important on this thing. Many people, they think, oh, I don't feel anything, but they've never had the chance to do back-to-back right away. Other, they think they feel a lot, but then you think, okay, but maybe the knowledge is missing to make the right step. And yeah, this is all the things we get to consider.
Do you guys just leave it solely up to the rider to work out, or do you strap some telemetry onto the machine and see what it's doing, actually measure it?
We do have telemetry, but we prefer to start without, because there's so many things you just can do without telemetry. Because telemetry means data needs to be processed, and this is just exhausting and a lot of work. If it comes to the fine-tuning, you need to have those tools, but you can do a lot prior to these things. You just, the right pressure, see if the tire is okay, if the fork is serviced. And as Robbie mentioned, we have a good knowledge on ratios like kinematics on the frame, so we know, okay, this rider is about 70 kilograms, it's probably going to have this setup shims. We start on that. We don't need to make, or we don't start with a totally wrong setup that doesn't make time. yeah.
And doing these setups, how often do you find that the professional riders have still got quite a bit to learn about setting up their suspension, just the basic stuff?
Yeah, actually quite a lot, surprisingly. They're not aware of their tools, you would call. But on the other side, it's nice that when you go the way with them, you see how they improve, and some they're really interested, some they're a bit less interested. So also there, it's really a personal thing.
So you're saying they really do improve?
Yes, 100%. I mean, like, for instance, we had Greta. I can mention Greta. She was there with us, and she was very interested in what we were doing. We did quite a bit of work on her bike. And on the way home, because she rode back to Stellenbosch, she got a Queen of the Mountain on one of the downhill sections, the doctor. And I mean, it wasn't just a small Queen of the Mountain, it was a huge gap. So I think that if we can say that we actually did our job, which is evident in the results immediately after the fact. So I think that they definitely did benefit from that. And
yeah,
so,
I think she posted something on social media, so
yes,
she was quite stoked.
Yeah. No, and for us as well, I think that I was very impressed about the interest from the athletes themselves. Actually, I mean, whenever I was servicing someone's suspension, they were in there looking and asking questions. And I would went through. For me to share the knowledge with that is key, because I will give them like a little record afterwards of what we've done. So any prior next suspension service that they get done, they can present it to whoever's doing it to say, okay, set it up for this because this is what I know.
And then they have a known setting to start with.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, and it's consistent.
Yeah.
From person to person. Yeah. And then from there, how does it work from there? Do you have to take the trainers and educate them as to what's going on?
Well, as I said with Barry, Barry Austin, I think is quite a forward thinker in this instance, that he was able to reach out to us and ask us for this specific job. And he was there on both days, and he learned a lot as well. He also rides. He's racing the Epic this year. So, I mean, I think he's a fantastic coach and someone who, if I was racing at that level, I would be like wanting him to have my back for sure.
Awesome. Do you want to talk about the downhill nationals?
Not really.
Sorry to bring that up, Rob.
So on Saturday and Sunday we had the national downhill champs in the Western Cape, and I mean the last time I touched a downhill bike was 2004, and we go to the nationals, we go to the downhills to do suspension stuff and just to be their support. We've got a lot of Olin's riders, so it's always nice to pitch up and to help people, which we did quite a bit. But I thought, it's time for me to be on the other side of the tape for a change. But so I hit on Saturday was my first ride on my downhill bike that I have, my new downhill bike since, as I said, 2004. So it was an interesting introduction. Course was actually not bad, very nice. But needless to say, next one will be better.
So the tyre saw its chi.
There was no Tai Chi around. The suspension is fantastic. It's not the bike that's the problem. It's the rider in this instance.
The seat to the handlebar interface.
Yeah, that interface is broken.
Anyway, anything else you guys would like to add about your setups?
I think just in finishing, we have some amazing trails in the Western Cape. I think that we are blessed. We just really scratched the surface of what riding is available there. I did some riding on Friday with some friends. In fact, we went out twice on Friday Valley, arrived on the plane at lunchtime, and we went riding in the afternoon. So, it's just we should be delivering world-class riders, and I think it's going to come.
Excellent. And Valentin, what's next for you?
Yeah, I just want to add what Robbie said first. Riding is the key. Maybe this is also a note for all the riders out there, if they're professional or not. just there to play a bit with suspension, there to do parameters up and down, and you will feel something or not, then it makes also fun, and you will see there's some difference. And if you get stuck, then reach out to us. We may help you. Just play around, dare to play around. Makes fun as well, 100%. Besides the riding itself.
So you're looking forward to going back to winter?
At the moment, not. I'm having 2 weeks more. So,
Excellent. Valentin, once again, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
To Robbie, thanks for giving us insight into what you guys do and how the whole process works. I look forward to tackling the next topic with you, Rob, in the near future.
Yeah, awesome, Glenn. Thank you very much, bud.
See you guys again. Take care.
Thanks.